everybody, welcome back to the channel today. Oh, there's a fly! Oh my goodness. Stop. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel today. My name is Carly.
And I am Addie, the ghost who haunts board games.
And this is Addie. And today we're going to be reviewing the anniversary edition of Ghost Fight and Treasure Hunters from Mattel. Ghost Fight and Treasure Hunters is actually a game that was originally produced back in 2013, I believe. Yep, it was an older game, and this is the anniversary edition, so this is kind of like a brand new edition of the game. I know a lot about this game looks pretty similar to the original one. However, this main board, like, definitely there is some graphical changes, and the illustrations do look a little bit different. But the main kind of difference of this game is there's actually kind of a new way to play. They kind of reworked and added some things. You can kind of change up the games a little bit every single time you play. So we're going to kind of jump into this now, and we're actually going to start by giving you a really general overview of how this game plays. This is a very simple game for the most part. So we are actually just going to kind of walk you through essentially what you're going to be doing on your turn. So in this game, you are taking on the role of a little character who is going out into this haunted house trying to collect these gems. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to set up all of the gems in the certain rooms, and then you also have some ghosts that you are going to place on these locations here. I have the characters set in the board right now, but everybody actually starts just at the front of the haunted mansion down here. Now, I mentioned before that there are a couple different ways to play the game. So let's start by kind of explaining just the basic way on kind of what you're going to be doing on your turn if you're just playing the basic game. So when you're playing the basic game, on your turn is you have this little white dice here, and you are going to roll it. And these dice are going to show you a couple different things. The first thing it's going to show you...
Can I explain?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
This dice shows you a couple of different things. It shows you how far you get to move, if you got a ghost card, and if you don't get a ghost card. So
yeah,
it's kind of like mixed up the cards.
So yes, the number on this dice shows you how many spaces you can move, and then if you happen to have a little ghost icon on that number as well, then you will draw a ghost card. Drawing a ghost card essentially is just flipping over a card, and then a ghost will appear in whatever room that particular card shows. So this one goes right here.
Oh my goodness.
Now, as long as there's not 3 ghosts on the same location, then you're okay.
But if you get a third ghost in, it becomes haunted.
The room becomes haunted, and then the big scary ghosts come out. And why this is important is because as your characters, you're going to be moving through this mansion and picking up gems. Now, if I was in a location that was haunted and I had a gem, well, that monster will actually hold on to that gem and make it so I actually cannot exit and leave the room with it. So something that you can do on your turn if you are in a room with ghosts
is fight.
Is you can choose to fight them.
Can I have if 2 people are in or stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay. So, when you fight ghosts, you literally just roll your dice, and since we got a haunted, we can kick this one out. But if we were, say, in this room and I wanted to fight it, you don't want to get the haunted, because as long as you match it, they get kicked out.
Yes, so you'd want to get the normal ghost.
And I got a green one this time, I get to kick this ghost out because it's green and they match. And
you were also going to mention how if you have 2 people in the same room, what happens at that point?
Since there's 2 black dice, the 2 people that are in the room both pick up the dice, even if it's not their turn, and they both roll it to Mom.
We can both work together to help fight the ghost, huh? But working together can definitely help you get rid of ghosts quicker, because the longer the game goes on, the board, I mean, there definitely becomes a lot of ghosts in this house.
There was like 1, 2, or 3 in all of them. I was like,
yes, yeah, it was kind of spooky. On this map, you also don't have to stay on like kind of like in the corridors. There are doors that you can actually utilize to move from room to room quicker, help you get to the back of the mansion a little bit quicker, because you can only hold 1 gem in your backpack at a time. So you'll kind of move into a room, collect a gem, bring it back out to the front porch area of this haunted mansion, and come back in and do it again.
How you win is by collecting every single gem and bringing them into this wagon. If all these red ghosts all of them, and there's 6 of them. If they all get into the mansion, then that's how you lose the game, because they
have completely taken over the haunted house. Huh? Yeah. So everything that we just described is how the base game operates. There are a couple different things that we're going to chat about now, though. The first is the slightly more advanced mode of this game. The advanced mode of the game introduces a handful of different, I kind of would consider them modules. I think you can kind of mix and match and kind of pick the ones that you want. One of the things that you can play with are the door locking mechanism. So there are some cards that you have that once they are flipped over or revealed, that means that those colored doors are blocked off and you are unable to move through them. There are also some advanced cards that when revealed they kind of force you to draw a handful more ghost cards from the deck, basically making the house become haunted quicker. And then another thing you can do is each of these jewels are numbered. And so again, if you're playing the advanced version, you actually have to pick up the jewels in chronological order. So starting with 1, working all the way up, which definitely makes it tricky. So that's essentially the advanced mode, but what this anniversary edition is actually introducing is a new kind of special way to play the game where somebody is actually actively playing as the ghosts against the other players.
That's so cool.
I know. And so how this mode operates is every single time the dice is rolled and a little ghost appears, then that is when the ghost player gets to then activate and do their turn. So again, that's a little bit more head-on. It has the ghost having more kind of actions against you, and they're actively trying to get you to lose the game at that point. Addie has actually never played that way, played that way yet. But
I already know some things I'm going to mention about that when I say what stuff I like about it and I don't like.
Yeah. So that's essentially a general overview of how this game plays. We're going to go ahead and start by chatting about everything that we did enjoy about this game. So I'll go ahead and kick this off here. I think the thing that I enjoyed so much about this game, and I also wanted to mention that I actually have never played the original one. I've only ever played this anniversary edition, so just kind of be aware of that. But I was surprised at how approachable this was for young kids. Obviously, this is a kids game, but I feel like lots of the games that we have in our collection, yes, they're kids games, but like, for example, Jameson, who's our 4-year-old, he still couldn't play a lot of these games that we have. But Jameson, because this game is so simple, literally all you're doing is just rolling a dice.
And Jamie loves rolling dice.
And he loves rolling dice. And so it was a game that we were able to sit down and actively play with everyone. Yes, I guess I had to count out the spots for Jameson, but other than that, like, he felt involved. He felt like he was involved with this game. He felt like he was playing, and he was equally invested. Every single time a ghost would come out, he would get all like, oh no, the ghost! Like, he felt so much more invested in this game than a lot of the other family weight kind of kids games that we've been playing recently. Addie, what did you like about this game?
These ghosts fit on your pinky.
They are so cute and like tactile and fun.
Some other things I like about this game is your character actually has a backpack and the
gems fit in it.
Yeah, look.
So it feels like you're picking up the gems, right?
I'm not touching it.
I'm pretty sure this is the same in the original game, but I'm really happy that they kept it because it's just such a fun little, like, I don't know, feels like a fun little toy piece. I was pleasantly surprised how much the modules really mixed up the gameplay. And whenever you play this game, you really can pick and choose kind of what you want to play with. You're like, okay, I want to play as the ghost. I kind of want to play with that module, and then also like the door locking mechanism. I don't know if it actually says in the rulebook that you're allowed to do that, but you totally could, because I played that way. Kind of mix and match the modules and kind of make it more complicated for if you're kind of playing with slightly older kids, or make it very simple to play that basic game if you are playing with younger kids. So I feel like it has a really good flexibility. You really are able to tailor this game to the children or family around the table. And I also think the theme is super approachable for kids. I think it's so easy for people to kind of get behind this theme of like, oh, we gotta go hunt the ghosts, we gotta get them, and you see it get more haunted.
This game also gives me like the attic monster vibes. By the way, we did do a video on that, so go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out.
I was pretty good on that video. I'm probably like the best video yet. And I like how two people can come in to help you fight.
Oh, how you can like work together. And it really was beneficial when you were actively working together. Like, you could really feel a difference because you're able to get rid of just that many ghosts, huh?
And if you have the smallest table on Earth, this will fit.
Yeah, it's a small game. It doesn't take up a ton of space. It's really easy to set up. And I really think just the simple mechanism of just flipping over cards and then adding ghosts, like, it's just so easy to teach, super approachable for really anybody. And I think if this theme appeals to you, especially if you have kids, I think that this is just like a no-brainer. You should have this game in your collection. I mean, it did win the Spiel des Jahres, or the Kinderspiel des Jahres. Am I saying that right? For a reason. After playing it, it's like, oh, of course. Like, this makes sense why this game was so popular and won all the awards that it did, because it really is just, I mean, it's a great kids game that honestly I feel like should be in everybody's collection. All right, so we're going to kind of jump over now and chat a little bit about things we might not have liked about this game or things we could potentially see others not liking. I'll go ahead and start. I think, honestly, there's really nothing that, like, I dislike about this game, but I mean, this also is just a very simple, light game. Like, there's not much to it. There's not a whole ton of strategy. Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of strategy.
Yeah, there's something I'm going to talk about that is kind of connecting to what Mom's saying right now.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go ahead and say that then? Oh, okay. I was just going to say this is just very kind of a light dice chucker. There's really no mitigation to the dice, so sometimes you roll the dice and you just lose out because of a crappy dice roll. So that's just something you need to be aware of.
The first thing that I get furious about in this game is sometimes I'm like, la la, and I just roll, and it just flat out, just instead of going roll, 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 it just goes flop.
Yeah, so you wish there was a little bit more dice mitigation. Yeah. The game can get to a point where you realize you're going to lose. And there's, like, you just might as well stop at that point, because if you're not really being on top of the ghosts, or if you do happen to flip over that card that has you flip over even more cards, and so the ghosts are kind of, I mean, it definitely can get to a point where it's like, okay, it's pretty clear that we're going to lose this one, especially if you're playing with a lot of the modules. So sometimes that can occur in this game.
I kind of don't like how easy it is just to kind of be like, okay, pick up a gem, walk back. But I can see myself definitely liking it once I play the harder.
The basic game was too basic for you.
Yeah, I like adventure and like a challenge in this game. The first mode is kind of basic.
Yeah, kind of basic.
Controversial.
So you like the challenge. Well, that's why this game is good, is because it has that stuff that you can kind of mix into it. Something else I wasn't a huge fan of was when you do play this game with with 2 people, for example, you have to control all 4 people, and I think that's a little bit complicated for young kids. I think that you really probably should primarily play this with just 3 or 4, because, or I mean, I guess if you're playing with slightly older children who can control 2 characters, it's fine, but I found for my younger kids, having to control 2 characters, like, it was a little bit confusing. I will say that, like, if you already do own the base version of this game, really the only thing you're missing out on with this anniversary edition is that one versus many mode, right? Where one person can play as the ghost, which is really fun. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you necessarily need to buy a new copy of this. I think if you like the variability, then it would definitely fly. In my opinion, this is the copy that I would get. If I already had this game, I don't know if I would necessarily go out to purchase it just for that new mode, but it is really nice to have, and if you don't have this game, this is definitely the one that, like, I would push you towards, is the anniversary edition, because, again, it just comes with that much more variety to play. All right, so having said all that, let's go ahead and kind of jump into our final kind of thoughts and ratings for this game. Do you want me to start, or do you want to start? I'll go ahead and start. Okay, so for Ghost Fightin' Treasure Hunters, I'm going to be giving this game an 8.5. I think this is a fantastic game for kids. Like I said, I really truly think that if you have lots of young kids in your life, I think this is a staple, and I think this anniversary edition, because it has that one versus many mode, I think this is a fun one to be able to sit down, have like the adult or the parent playing the ghost and all the kids kind of working together to try to get rid of you. I think this is fantastic. Great for Halloween, great for this spooky season. I would recommend this to everybody who has families, honestly.
I kind of see myself, like, if we played the difficult level, like maybe like a 9 or a 10. But as in the easy level, I have like an 8 or 7.
8 or 7? Okay, that's fine.
I don't know which one.
So you're rating it a 7 or an 8 because you liked it, but you didn't quite love it, right?
Versus Trio or Mysterium, that maybe like a solid 9 or 10.
Okay, so this is like falls in between that 7 or 8 category. Okay. All right, so that kind of rounds out our review for Ghost Fight and Treasure Hunters, the Anniversary Edition. I wanted to give a special shout out to Mattel for sending us this copy to review for you today. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, it means so much if you could do that. It really helps support us in everything that we're doing over here. But until next time, we hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you later.
Boo boo. Oh my goodness. Since this is a haunted mansion, if we travel to a haunted mansion and there was a broken table there.
You would want to play this on the broken table?
And I heard the wind that goes, ooh, werewolves growling in the back.
And then we'd put on our witch hats and just start playing the game. Yeah.
Yeah, if we ever do that. Healthy.